What's up, guys? Discipline. Is that something you got? I don't have much of it, to be honest with you. I thought I'd jump on here and talk about, can we be transparent? I just want to jump on here and do a little bit of a different type of video and talk about discipline and put myself under the gun, put myself under the spotlight. I'm not the most disciplined person. I just want to be honest. However, I have forced myself to do things I didn't want to do and ended up liking it. And there's ways that I kind of trick myself into getting excited. So I wanted to talk about that. I want you guys to ask yourself, are you disciplined? If not, how do you get yourself to do things that you don't want to do? That is the question. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different. However, as I was starting to write up, as I was starting to launch this, I had an aha moment on how to tie this in with today's misguided mentors. So I'm excited to talk with you about that. So, excuse me. I just got back from a yoga class with my girlfriend Kira and my daughter Malia. Yes, I do yoga. I'm not a professional by any means. I think that was my second. That was the second time I've ever went into like a yoga studio. And instead of doing some stuff with my girlfriend here at the house, I probably do it twice a week. I will say it's very, for those of you who don't know, I got a background in carpentry. I used to build glass solariums and conservatories and a lot of outdoor living stuff like decks and handrails and patio covers and stuff like that. And I did that for 12 years. For one company, I worked for them 10 years, and then I did it for another couple years for my own company, building out a location. And then I periodically did it for my own company following the next 5 years after that. So I've beat up my body, and sometimes I forget that. And, because I feel like I'm still in good shape. I'm very grateful for being able to still do things with my hands, like play guitar and box a little bit, and not like professionally or anything, but just like hit the bag and all that. I use my hands for a lot, and so I'm very grateful that I still have the ability to do that. So my body really appreciates the yoga when I get through it. Like, it's really hard just to sit cross-legged for me sometimes because I put my knees through hell. But after I do it, it feels really nice, Like, if you haven't ran for a while, talking about discipline, I haven't ran for so long. However, the last 3 weeks I've been running. Not consistently, maybe twice. 1 week I ran like 3 or 4 days in the morning. And then now it's maybe like twice a week at least. But, and it's nothing crazy. It's just like a mile and a half maybe. I don't think it's 2 miles. Maybe it's 2 miles. But I just run up to the park, run around the park and then come back. But my knees have been feeling really good. And it's because of the discipline. Even in yoga, there's actually discipline. And I found that out tonight because I had to sit with my legs crossed in one position. And I was like, God, this is crazy how much pain this hurts. And then once we were done with that, the lady was like, yeah, now we're going to reverse cross and do this again. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, my knees aren't ready for this. So anyways, I found out, she was talking about it. It got me thinking on discipline. A couple things. Discipline came up a couple times. And it's funny because the word for me this year was implementation. But now I realize the word for me should be discipline. This is a good example too. Like, it was getting late. I wanted to do a live way earlier than this, but things like my schedule clashed and things took longer than they did. Next thing you know, the day got away from me. You know how it goes. And so when that happens, my discipline diminishes too to do certain things. I'm like, oh God, there's not enough time now. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna get on there anyway. I enjoy doing it. So discipline came up in that aspect, and then discipline came up again when I was doing yoga because I had to really discipline myself to stay in a very, very uncomfortable position for an extended period of time, which kind of sucked. But as I kind of just like relaxed into it, it started feeling better. And even after the fact, it felt really good. So I was like, man, I'm kind of glad I disciplined myself in that. But anyways, the topic is, I'm not disciplined. Are you guys disciplined? I'm really not disciplined. But it's kind of funny because like thinking back on my carpenter days, I've done some shit. Like I really had to go through some like being a carpenter in the Pacific Northwest where it rains a lot and it's particularly cold rain. 9 months of the year, you got snow, and I worked through all that for 12 years. I did that, carrying tools on me. We don't stop when it rains. We didn't stop when it snowed unless there was like a foot of snow. And so I worked through that, and I figured out how to do it and figure out how to keep the body warm in certain areas and continue working, how to stay dry, wear a rain suit, put the tool belt over the rain suit and continue. So there was a lot of discipline that came with that. And so I have disciplinary skills and disciplinary characteristics within me. But it's almost like I don't know, if it's just up to me, I don't always do the things that I should be doing. And more particularly, I don't do things that I don't want to do as much, if that makes sense. So I wanted to ask you guys, anybody who sees this video later on, you guys on YouTube, what's up, guys? If you're watching, what are some things that you don't like doing, but you do it anyway? And then after you do it, do you feel good about it? More times than not, I feel good about doing something that I didn't do. And that's actually the rewarding part for me, and that's what makes it exciting. So me knowing that I'm not very disciplined, but me knowing that about myself, I have to compensate with excitement, meaning I think about the excitement of it. So for instance, I really didn't want to do a live, but I remember rather, how much excitement I have for this channel and the goals I have to achieve to grow it. And it's going to be a slow battle. This is something that's not going to take, like, for those of you who may have noticed, like, I just started this channel on YouTube. So it's a baby. Like, we're in the baby, it's a fetus. So we just got conceived, and it's going to take a while. And so discipline is going to be required. Let's put it that way. And so I recognize that I'm going to have to do some things I don't want to do. However, I really enjoy doing these lives and having people see them and reach out to me and comment on them, give me their feedback, positive and negative. And I really enjoy that. So yeah, I like the disciplinary part of it. And sometimes it's a bitch, but it always works out. And the other thing was like, in regards to like my carpentry position, when I worked for one company, I would spend, every job was different, right? We would do some jobs that took a day. We'd do some jobs that took a week. For the bigger jobs, like a sunroom, like a glass glazed sunroom, sometimes it'd take a month. Between the permits and all this stuff, is all in phases. So it's like a journey you're taking. You're going to the same house. You're working in a homeowner's backyard, tearing through their walls, building stuff, cleaning up every single day. Sometimes, if it's a month-long job, sometimes you'd have to break off of that job to go do some smaller ones to make sure you're bringing in money, and then come back to it and try to get back into that mode. But when it was done, you spend a month on a job site, step back and look at what's been created. That's a huge sense of accomplishment for me. I always appreciated that about carpentry. Just all the trials and errors through it, trying to troubleshoot certain situations, like how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? You got to stand there, scratch your head, look at something like, how in the hell am I supposed to connect these three pieces together while I'm in the air? All this stuff, like stuff that it's just constant troubleshooting and a lot of mental discipline that comes with the physical discipline as well. But I would always appreciate stepping back, looking at something that I built, and just see how beautiful it was, and also recognize the trials and tribulations that came with that. So another example of how discipline is tough, but you can get excited about it. And most times discipline, when we're talking about doing things you don't want to do, that excitement comes after you've done it, and you're always almost thankful for it. You're like, I'm glad I did that. And so it's really cool to think about how much value I got from working as a carpenter, the lessons of life and the strengths that carpentry gave me in life in general that I carried into business, that I carried into parenting, my relationships. It really did help me in many, many ways. So I have a respect for discipline, even though I know I don't inherently have a lot of discipline. I've gone on kicks too. Let's talk about motivation, because I've definitely been motivated, but I think that there's a difference between discipline and motivation. Like, I've been motivated to do stuff, right? When you get excited and you're motivated, it makes it very easy to do the things that you don't want to do. So if you can find, that's kind of a little hack that I've done, is like, God, how can I get excited about this? What is exciting about this? What are the exciting moments of this specific thing? And whether it's something you don't want to do or something that you like doing, but it just kind of becomes work sometimes, using excitement as a hack is a very helpful way to implement discipline more often in your life. I'll give you an example. Another example. If you guys didn't know, I've been a musician for about 18 years now. I picked up the guitar when I was 25. Is that 17 years? When I was 25, I started playing guitar, which is kind of a late time to pick up an instrument and learn it. But I did it. I just gravitated towards it and started learning it. And next thing you know, we started a band. I started a band with somebody and was in that band for 8 years before I ended up making a tough decision to move, and then pass the torch to someone else to replace me. And the band, thankfully, is still carrying on, and they're still carrying that legacy. But there was a lot of hills and valleys with that band, trying to find the right bandmates, losing members, practicing 3 days a week. When we first started out, for the first couple of years, we were practicing 3 days a week. I was working a full-time carpentry job at the time. So after work, I would go drive half an hour or more to the jam spot, practice, and then come back late night. I'd go to bed, and then I'd have to do it all over and go to work. But I did it because I was excited, and it made it very easy for me to be motivated about something that was tough, because I was excited about it and the payoff was there, and I knew where the excitement was. I was like, I want to play shows. I want to write an album. I want to design the logos, and I want to come up with like EP, album concept, storylines for the lyrics, and like it was fun. You know what I mean? And but there was times where it was, I ain't gonna lie, there's some times where I just didn't feel like practicing. Every bandmate goes through that. You know what I mean? Sometimes life hits us, and that'll take a toll as well. And so that's where the discipline comes in. You got a sick family member, or you've gone through a breakup with a girlfriend or boyfriend. Next thing you know, you got to uphold things that in your life that were something you're passionate about, but you're just not in it in the moment. You know what I mean? So just another example of how discipline also, applied to me. But, I wanted to, what was the idea? I wrote down something. So a thought came to me when it comes to discipline. By the way, really quick before I forget, if you guys are on Instagram, do me a favor, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's called Today's Misguided Mentor. I'd really appreciate it if you do that. And then secondly, I'll be able to see your comments on there. And especially because I keep telling people I'm going to navigate and stop doing Instagram lives and specifically just do YouTube lives. So just a heads up on that. If you go there, subscribe, follow me on there, I really appreciate that. And I got some big things coming down the chute. But what I was going to say was, what's up, Ann? How you doing? So you're saying, not sure if I mentioned it, but habit stacking, attacking a new habit to an already established habit is a great way to get them established in your routine. I like that. Never heard of habit stacking. I like that. Very cool. And that's a good hack. And so, yeah, it's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about discipline. I've used some examples in my life when it comes to business, being in a band as a musician, carpentry, when I was doing carpentry for 12 years, building sunrooms. And so, but I wanted to bring this up because this just dawned on me as well. So I talked to you about how One of my hacks to get excited about something that I really didn't feel like doing or was not excited about doing was I'd figure out how to get excited about it. I'd think about where the excitement would ever come out of this scenario if I just did it, you know? And that got me really motivated. And so even if I could motivate myself temporarily to push myself through the discipline, I just need it temporarily. I just need it to get to discipline myself through that task or through that moment. That's fine too. It reminded me of something though, when I talk about doing things you don't want to do in sales, in business, and regarding today's misguided mentors, regarding the self-development space, coaching, mentorship, public speaking events, and things of that nature. When you're being sold something, you're being pitched something, and you don't want it, and you're getting that pressure sales from somebody, they figured this out as well. I just thought of this literally as I was starting this live. I was like, oh, that's crazy. That's like that. I think that's what they're doing. So a sales rep can feel when you're not excited about something. So if like someone's presenting something to you, an offer, and they're like, yeah, it's $10,000 for this. Can we count you in? Is this something we can get you signed up for? And, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I need that. I don't feel like I want that right now. I don't know. Let me think about it. And then they start giving you that pressure sale, start asking you hard questions and start trying to, do all these tactics, right? One of the tactics in that to get you to do something that you don't want to do is to get you excited about it. No differently from me getting excited about doing something that is a discipline, right? Same thing. I'm choking. Same exact thing. They have figured out that you're not going to buy it. The chances of you buying something that you don't want, obviously and clearly to them, are very low unless they can get you excited about it. So whatever that looks like, maybe they'll say things like, well, do you want to be average the rest of your life, or you actually want to level up? You want to get to that next level? Because we're going to show this program is going to tie you in with successful people. This program is going to give you that coaching for weekly coaching, daily coaching. This program is going to show you the blueprint, the playbook, the template to navigate. You're going to get all your questions answered, all that stuff, right? They're really trying to get you excited. Matter of fact, one of the biggest tactics is trying to get you excited because they're trying to basically discipline you to get excited to do something that you don't want to do. And I thought that was quite remarkable that I had that epiphany as I was starting this, because I really had no intentions of talking about that, I just wanted to talk about my own experience about discipline and, me not wanting to do a live, but I ended up jumping on here anyway because I'm excited about doing lives. I'm excited about talking about things that I'm passionate about. I'm excited about being consistent and frequent as well. And I said, one of my goals is to grow this channel, reach more people, impact more people, help more people with my message. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to be disciplined. Discipline is going to have to be a big part of my life, even though I'm not really disciplined. So, but anyways, yeah. In relevance to today's misguided mentors and relevance to that pressure sales, they try to get you to be excited and try to get you to discipline yourself in the sense that they want you to spend money on something that you don't want to spend money on. And in order to do that, they need to figure out ways to get you excited. All right. Not necessarily about that, but about you. Get excited about yourself, your potential, so many different things. So it's quite remarkable how that's relative, right? I just thought about that and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So it trips me out. It really does. Anyways, long story short, I'm not a disciplined person. I have moments where I get excited and I start doing a bunch of things that I don't want to do. Working out. I'm not always excited to work out because I like working out in the morning early. Sometimes I wake up late and then it leaves a little bit of time and then I don't get a really good workout in. And so I'm like, So like there's things about me that I know, and I know once the excitement goes down, my discipline goes down. So if I can increase the excitement and not fake the excitement, but think about what I get excited about in that scenario, I focus on that. And that actually kind of motivates me to navigate discipline a lot easier, if that makes sense. That's just how I do it. That's just how I approach discipline. Much like I was telling you with the carpentry, like nobody wants to. If you ask me, hey, there's nothing exciting about putting on a rain suit and wearing 60 pounds of tools on you and climbing a ladder, getting on your knees, operating tools, being in the rain, cold rain. There's nothing exciting about that, but you're gonna have to do it anyway. It would have been really, really hard. And don't get me wrong, that's a tough job, and it was a tough job. I always make the joke that it's kind of like being a Navy SEAL or in the military or something, because it really is being like thrown through boot camp. But yeah, one of the things that pushed me was the excitement and the reward and the achievement feeling of building something, using my brain, going through the hard times of working on a project for a long period of time, and then stepping back and looking at it and be like, wow, and like just seeing the beauty of it, and just it ties in. You just transformed the homeowner's life, literally, because the things I was building was like glass conservatories. We're talking about adding in a whole new room to someone's home in the most luxurious way. So it really was and that room, usually every time someone bought a sunroom, that becomes the most used room in a house. So I literally I recognized that I was actually impacting their life in a very positive way. So I got excited about that as well. So anyways, yeah, discipline is a hell of a thing. But I'm going to make an oath and a vow that I'm going to stay frequent and consistent. I got a schedule that I've really dialed in, and if my day gets away from me, if things interrupt my schedule like today, I'm still going to do the best that I can to discipline myself, to hold myself accountable, and do the things that I said I'm going to do. In this case, I wanted to make sure I got on here and did a live. All right. So I'm going to use myself as an example. And like I said, put myself under the bus and just tell you guys, like, I'm not disciplined, but here I am. I didn't really want to do a live, but here I am. Now that I'm on here, I'm enjoying it, and I'm excited, and I like that I made that decision. So I like doing this, and that's what gets me on here all the time. So, and not for me, like, of course, I like feeling good, but I don't just chase feelings. I don't also discipline myself in this example just to serve myself. That's the last thing. My serving myself is not motivation. It certainly is not. Serving other people, helping people is a huge motivation for me. I've just changed my way of living in that regard in the last year and a half now, because that was one of these epiphanies that I got, was like, holy shit, I need to actually operate my life by serving people, helping people, doing things without expectations, doing things without wanting something in return, and that's a really tough way of living for a lot of people. But I can tell you that all the things, once I changed that, I started the things I used to chase, money, outcomes. Maybe you guys heard me talk about this. It all started coming to me. That whole law of attraction thing actually worked when I really didn't want it. You know what I mean? It doesn't work, in my opinion. We're talking about something a little different now, but the only way law of attraction works is if you truly let it go and don't want it. A lot of people think law of attraction works by like faking and psyching themselves out and focusing on things that, what they focus on, they're going to attract. It's more than that, and it's deeper than that. And I think I explained it the best way possible, is like law of attraction only really works when you let it go and you don't want it. All the things that you used to want are going to start coming into your life. It's quite remarkable. At least that's what happened. That's what happened to me. So it's just my testimony. But yeah, in regards to discipline, I'd love to know, whoever sees this later on, like what other hacks. I love what Ann said about habit stacking. If there's other tricks or suggestions or hacks like that, that help people navigate discipline, put it in the comments. Like, this is stuff that helps people. You know what I mean? Like, if you got something that you figured out that helps you navigate, there's a good chance to share it, because there's a good chance there's someone else that operates like you as well, or it's at least worth them trying it. You know what I mean? And having several ways to do that is really cool. Actually, I think it's really cool. It gives them options to try some certain things, because I think a lot of people struggle with discipline. No matter how much someone claims they're disciplined or that they're just hyper focused on something, you see a lot of Instagram pages and a lot of clips and ads of people that are all jacked up on steroids, right? And always working out and all that. They might be disciplined at working out. Why are they working out? Because if they're probably serving themselves, their ego and their image and their self-pride, there's a good chance that they're only disciplined in that because of that reason. And maybe they're not disciplined at anything else in their life. Maybe they're just not disciplined on communicating with their wife positively. Maybe they're not disciplined with who knows. But discipline is such a tough thing for a lot of people when we're talking about applying it to many areas of your life. Like, if one person, if we're just focused on one thing, like working out, for instance, or writing music, like I said, like I was telling you guys when I first started the band I was in, I was hyper disciplined and focused on it. I didn't care what it took. I would go practice 3 days a week after work, after working a long 8-10 hour day. There was nothing that was going to stop me, because it was easy for me to discipline because of that excitement. And I think, guys working out, they get excited about that. They're excited about, what are they excited about though, is the question. When we're talking about discipline, why are you disciplined? Maybe that's a better question to ask. Are you disciplined are you disciplined for selfish reasons, or are you disciplined, why, I guess? You know what I mean? It's just a good question I just thought of right now too. So another question to ask yourself, but just wanted to jump on here, talk a little bit about that. But I think I've exhausted the topic. Maybe I'll bring it back up when I get, it's definitely going to be a topic of conversation for me, because like I mentioned earlier in the live, this is a new channel, and I'm going to need to stay disciplined before, I get the results that I want. What's up, brother? My brother Alec, how you doing, man? Dude, if anybody is disciplined, you're definitely a good example of being disciplined from what I can see, man, in business, in your health, and in working out and stuff like that. You strike me as a very well-rounded, disciplined guy, man. So determined is a fantastic word, an excellent word to use when we're talking about being disciplined. Determined is actually really, really good, because when I was talking about just starting the band, or building something, when I was building sunrooms and stuff like that, when I apply the word determined, it very much applied to that, because I was determined to learn. When I first picked up the guitar at 25, most people learn instruments when they're a kid. Someone introduces them to an instrument when they're a kid or something, and they grow a passion, and so they learn in their adolescence years, which makes it makes it easier for them to kind of pursue that. For me, picking up the guitar at 25 was a challenge. And so, because I seen my nephew, who was 9 years younger than me, super good at it. There was just a lot of people that were around me who were a lot better at instruments and music than I was. And here I was, a man, 25 years old, a young man, just starting to learn a new instrument from scratch. And so I was super determined to learn it. Once I learned it, then I got determined to form a band. Then once I formed a band, I was determined to write like an album and then play shows. Like, it was just one determination after the next. Yeah, love you too, brother. Definitely got a lot of love for you, man. Like I said, you're one of the real ones, man. I always appreciate your positive energy and encouragement, dude. So yeah, I like that. I like that determined word because I definitely can vibe with determined. And in case you missed it earlier, I was talking to Alec. I was talking about how the things that I've done that I didn't want to do, I find I make it easier for me by finding excitement in it, and not fake excitement, but like thinking about the exciting moments of that. Maybe it comes after doing it. For me, a lot of the excitement in doing something I don't want to comes after I've done it. And I like that, and I know that feeling, and so I hold on to that, and I focus on that, and that helps me push through. That helps me be determined to power through the discipline, the things that's not so pleasant to experience. But anyways, I am going to hop off here. I just wanted to jump on here, do a quick, half hour or so live. Just to, like I said, hold myself accountable and be disciplined, and make sure that I'm doing my podcasts. Pretty soon this page is going to turn into a interview page, and I'm going to ideally just have interviews, one-on-one conversations, because I love having conversations with people. I like talking as well, and educating and sharing thoughts and stuff like that, breaking things down, which I'll still do. But ideally, I'd like to get more interviews. And speaking of which, Alec is definitely on the list. I'd love to, open up a conversation for people to hear that. And so we're going to make that happen down the line too. I got a growing list. I want to make sure it's backlogged quite a bit with some solid people who can speak on, business, leadership, caring about people, faith, things like that, things that I value and think is a good message for people to hear and spread. So once that happens, it's going to take a different turn, I feel like. And so, but until then, I'm going to have to be disciplined, and I'm going to have to continue to get on here. And I think I scheduled at least 5 or 6 days a week. I'm going to be doing a live stream and a post as well. So I got to hold myself to it. I don't care if it's 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. I don't care if my day gets away from me and my schedule conflicts. Even if I got to do a live from my truck as I'm driving, I'm going to do it. So you guys hold me to it. You heard it here first. I'm going to discipline myself in that regard. So anyways, love you guys. Take care. I'm going to jump off here. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll catch you tomorrow, or I'll catch you when I see you guys next time. All right. Take care.